Hi. Today, I really wanted to talk about the voice, the role that the voice plays in regulating the nervous system, and also how we can use our voice to bring ourselves into a state of deep relaxation that is actually very, very important and necessary in our psychic work, especially in trance work, in meditation, even in things such as clairaudience and clairvoyance. So, I guess where I would start with this is that before I do any of these exercises myself, I always get a warm drink. But you really don't want to get anything that's going to clog or coat the throat too much. So I generally will have like a warm peppermint tea or warm water. Really, any type of tea is fine. You just don't want anything like caffeinated, nothing that's going to, bring those energies up in your body, because what the goal is here is to really down regulate. So once I do that, we are going to start with a simple vagal toning technique. And part of the reason why having something so warm is really important to this, and why I always start with this, even if it's hot outside, is because a warm beverage is actually very, very important to vagal toning. And especially if you are the kind of person who finds yourself in fight or flight a lot, or if higher spiritual energies and higher planes bring you into a kind of elevated or even manic state, then it's really, really important to take control of that. It's important to get the body into the right state before going into these psychic states. That way we are kind of already prepared. We already have laid the groundwork and have a good foundation. So just starting with a simple breathing exercise, what you want to do is to kind of inhale. So usually what I'm doing is I imagine this stream of air going straight up, and then I want to kind of push it out as I exhale. And you want the initial exhale to be more forceful, like a huh, and then you want it to kind of fall down like a relaxing blanket, or like a snowfall maybe. And from there, you want to take wherever you left off with the sigh, and you want to keep your voice there, because we are going to be speaking to ourselves. And this is something that you can do in, just a regular nervous system regulation practice, or this is something that you can use to prepare yourself for psychic states. I don't do channeling any longer, but it is something that I used to do, and I would usually use this practice when doing that as well. It gets you into a very solid trance state, but also it's something that I find myself kind of naturally pulled into when speaking in tongues, which is a really big part of my practice and a big part of my internal processing psychically. So just as an example, we're going to do the initial practice again, and then I am going to show you what I mean about leaving my voice wherever the sigh leaves off. So when you're in this state, you're going to notice that wherever your sigh left off is quieter. Maybe you feel like when you're speaking, it sounds similar to the way that you would speak right before you go to sleep, or maybe even the way that you would sleep when you first wake up in the morning. It's going to feel heavy, but not a bad heaviness, more like a weighted blanket. You'll find yourself feeling a little bit sleepy as you're doing this exercise, and that's exactly what you want. The way that you want to talk, the way that you position your voice, what you want to do is imagine that you are speaking to a little child. It can be your inner child, it can be a child that you love. And how would you speak to that child if they were distressed? How would you speak to them if they were afraid? How would you speak to them if they were sad? And you just kind of want to keep your voice within this range. You want to speak so softly and so calmly. You don't have to whisper, but you want to feel that relaxing, sleepy heaviness kind of falling over your body. From there, if you want to keep this as a nervous system practice, what you could do is say things to the body. And it's really important to do this out loud because doing it inside of our mind isn't enough. But when we say this stuff out loud, the body doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know if it's coming from you or if it's coming from someone else. The body is responding to attunement of the nervous system. And this is how we can attune our own nervous system. So if you're just looking for regulation, you can move slowly your hands up and down the sides of your arms and say something to yourself like, I am safe, I am here, or even you are safe, you are here. You can say things like, I feel at home within my body. I feel relaxed. I feel sleepy. I feel safe. And if this is something that you are doing to just regulate your nervous system, what I would suggest is that anytime you find yourself in that elevated, even manic state of stress or irritability or annoyance, you will lower the octave of your voice and you will speak to yourself or to anyone around you within the range that you would speak to a little child. Now, if you are looking to go into a psychic state, you could do a little bit of self-hypnosis. You can basically repeat the things that I said to you prior. Things like, I am relaxed. I am safe. I am in a psychic state. I am surrounded by my guides. I am aligned with Christ. You know, really, whatever it is that makes you feel really good inside, whatever it is that your discernment leads you to say, you can repeat any of those things. Something that I will also find myself repeating a lot is mantras. It's kind of not really a conscious thing. It's just something that will come up when I'm in that state. My body will start to get very warm. And if I'm not doing light language or speaking in tongues, which is just another way to say light language, although it's really important to know what stream you are speaking from and that it's not anything weird. But from that same state, I will find myself repeating different mantras. And that's something that makes me feel really good. You can even just repeat Om or really anything. And yeah, just you want to hold that state. It feels very warm. It feels very good. You might feel like your body is on a cloud. You might feel like you've just taken a long warm bath, or you might feel even like you took a muscle relaxer or something, but not in a disembodied way or in a dissociated way at all. It's a very embodied state. But from that state, you can easily close your eyes, and in my opinion, or experience, I should say, at least, I can close my eyes in that state, and instead of falling asleep, I will just kind of fall into this, very gently into this deep, deep trance. And then in that deep, deep trance, I'm so relaxed that I can ask myself different things, or I can ask my guides different things, and the answers will flow through to me in a very clear way, because in order for us to receive things in a clear way, we have to be clear. And we can't be clear if we're not relaxed, because we can't be clear if we're in a state of dysregulation. So I really hope this helped. I'm kind of an amateur at explaining these things in videos, but I'm really doing my best. Let me know if you end up trying this exercise, and thank you for watching.